episode of 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes. I'm Jason Holcomb, joined as always with the coach. Coach, we had probably one of the strangest situations football-wise I've ever seen, and I've been keeping up with Dublin Irish football for a while. When you have a rain-shortened contest like that, what are the positives that you take away from it so that you can build the boys up for the next game?
First, for GHSA rules. A lot of people were questioning what the rules were, and I wasn't exactly sure going in. I do know that Georgia High School changed the rules a couple of years ago, Jason, where games must be played to completion. That being said, and that has to do with the new power ranking system they used to send single A schools to the playoffs. So when we had a 1 hour rain delay before we ever got started, pushed the game from 7:30 to 8:30. We would kick off at 8:30. We were able to get in one quarter and one play into the second quarter. We're ahead 21-0. There used to be a maximum of a 1.5 hour weather delay. After an hour and a half, the game would be canceled. They took that out. There's no longer that. There is no curfew for the latest that you can play a game. So what happens is now, in those type of situations, the team that is trailing has the option to forfeit the game, score stand as it is on the scoreboard, and that's it. It would be considered a complete game. We waited a long time. It was, I think, 10:40-ish, 10:45. Finally, ECI knew that it was going to be 11:15 or 11:30 before we could resume the game. I think they felt like, through what had already transpired, that they weren't going to probably come back and win that football game. We didn't think that playing Saturday was a great option. There's so many different things going on. And they have a game this week or whatever, so we just felt like not playing it on Monday. They came back to us and said, Coach, we feel like that right now we need to be in best interest to call the game. We were disappointed in that simply because, for example, we played a quarter. My intentions were, I'd already told my next quarterback, get with the center, get some snaps, you're going in. And we wanted an opportunity to see a lot of these backups get some quality varsity reps in a game situation, and we weren't able to do that. But we got out with a win. We got out playing rather impressive for a quarter.
Yes.
But unfortunately, that's all it was one quarter.
It is what it is, and it's time to move on. We're off this week for all of you, so please don't show up at Shamrock Bowl this week. Those up there right now as we speak. Coach, they go see Miss Pam Jones over at the board office to pick up those tickets, correct?
Miss Pam has them there at the board office. Single game tickets, that's season tickets, reserve seat and all that, Miss Pam has at the board office. If you're looking for a single game ticket, just the Swainsboro game, parents are able to pick their tickets up at the high school the week of the game. They're still $7. Students can purchase one ticket per student at the school office during the game week for $5. But if you walk up to our gate now and pay to get in at the gate, it's $10 a ticket. So get them in advance. Go ahead and get your season ticket. That way you've got them all, and it's still $7 a game.
While we're talking about players and neat things going on in the world, we had one of our former players who stood out in a little parody that was done up in Atlanta. Barry Brown of Georgia State, former kicker for us, the Irish, took part in a little video parody of Full House. They call it The Specialist. We're going to go ahead and play just a little bit of that for you right now. As you can see, Barry is working on his golf swing, which they always tease is part of your kicking game. It's a similar motion, and we hope that he's going to use that motion quite a bit this year for the Panthers. As a Georgia Southern alum, I'm not going to get into the who's GSU debate today. I love Barry, and we're going to support him unless they have to play the Eagles, and then I'll be on a different side. But Coach, I know for you, when you talk about building up student athletes, although we're talking about silly stuff with Barry at this moment, seeing these young men make it to that next level and start doing well, I know that has to mean something to you.
Well, it does, and I couldn't be more proud of Barry. He's got some meaningful reps there at Georgia State. Barry is a young man who's fixing to finish his degree. He's going to always be successful, and I couldn't be more proud of Barry.
Well, and I've teased him because he shows up at our campus a lot during the off season and in between, and I keep telling him that, you know, we've got a legendary kicking coach, but legend on your name normally means you're old. So we're always looking to try to have somebody that can extend that heritage. And since he tuteled under Coach Hagler, I know he'd be a fine addition. So, Barry, if you're watching, don't think away from teaching. Teaching could be an option in coaching. We'd love to have you over here, a little politicking for you. But, Coach, before we go, we've got to do our mustache matchup. We actually did our first Twitter poll for We Must Ask You a Question, and we figured with the new Star Wars movie releasing a trailer this past weekend that it only seemed fitting for us to pit a Star Wars matchup. There's not a lot of mustaches out there, at least that I know of. Some of those aliens, I don't know if the tentacles count as mustaches, but at any rate, our matchup this week is we're going to be pitting Lando Calrissian against Lando Calrissian against Lando Calrissian. Okay, Coach, there's young Lando. All right, there's middle-aged Lando. That'd have been back when you were running strong.
I hear you.
And then this is old Lando.
Well, you know, I got to go with old Lando. I guess I'm just a little partial, a little gray in there.
So that's another upset. Coach is picking these upsets left and right, so I don't know what everybody's got going on in the polls here. We'll flash the poll here on the Twitterverse as we're talking about this. But, Coach, I know everybody's having a good time with this. We want to make sure that y'all keep sending us your mustache matchups. We'd like to include them every week just as a way to kind of celebrate Coach's mustache and also celebrate these young men. Be sure to come out every Friday when we play. We keep the schedule up and about. We're off this week. We play home next week, and then we're off next week, and then we go almost to North Florida the following week. But we'd love to have you every single game, and we'd love to have you here every week on 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes.